Yes, and luckily this time I can have my notes in front of me. And so, here we go. The Week 4 final here in Series 3. It sees Andy Boulton in action up against Scott Taylor. Andy Boulton, who the bookmakers at the beginning of the week said will be the man that'll pick up the cheque for the £5,000 and a spot at Champions Week. Well, he's one game away from doing exactly that against Scott Taylor, who, going into this week, we did have one or two question marks over, but he really has proved his point here at the Super Series. And when you look at him tonight, he has been impressive. Averages of 92 in his semi-final win against Alan Tabben. He kicked off the night with a 94 average, 50% on the doubles against Gary Stone. But it is Andy Boulton, the opposition, the man who has been so steady, so solid for the last 6 days. And so battle commences in the final of Week 4. It is Boulton who's won a bull off in the practice room. It's the only game throughout the course of the week where the players participate in such an exercise. And a man who is well versed in winning finals is alongside me in the commentary box. Hello, Glenn.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. This is what everybody practices for. You can speak so nicely, so eloquently, so fantastically well about someone like Andy Boulton all week. But it's always just about this moment. Scott Taylor is the type of player who can spoil the party, who can spoil the headlines. I think he's up for this.
134.
However long this game goes, we are going to see quality. Whoever the victor will be, we are going to see quality. This feels like a week which has come up to the boil. And we may have yet seen
134.
The best of the action. Taylor first to finish, 134, but Boulton's going to apply ample pressure upon that.
140.
He just continues to impress. It's difficult to do all the time. And what he was looking for there was treble 18, 2 tops, which is once again a very modern way to go. A treble here would be nice.
94.
What a dart. I can't tell you how good that dart was.
67.
It puts all the pressure on this 67. He wasn't up for the challenge in the first leg against Gary Stone last time. That just creeps in. Big dart.
35.
Once again, just mirrors the first game, and he's looking saying, why doesn't that go in? Scott Taylor tops for a 13 darter.
He's had a bit of a love-hate relationship on double 16 this week, as Taylor gets a double 5 to break in the opener.
And there's the obligatory fist pump. And sometimes when you write a story, Henry,
second leg, it's Scott to throw first.
The ending is usually already written. There's just something about Scott Taylor that is here to spoil everything about that, because he has this A game. He hasn't required his B game tonight because he just played so well, and what a deserved winner he would be. But this guy has been unbelievable. How much did that semi-final take out of him?
96.
He won that second semi-final, and as a consequence of it, he's had less time to prepare, as Scott did. He probably had the best part of around about 40 minutes to prepare himself for the duel. And of course, that last semi-final going all the way meant that he had basically the maximum amount of time he could have had to prepare for such an occasion. But then
60.
you can flip that coin the other way, and it's the discussion which I think we'll be having about darts for, well, until the end of time, that do you prefer being hot and being playing second, or having that little bit of rest time? Well, as far as Scott Taylor's concerned, he'd be happy to have had the rest. Leaving 1-2-1 after 9, averaging 110, and for pretty much the first time this week, Andy Boulton has deviated below that 90 average.
You look at treble 13 or treble 17, so a big 14.
81.
What a set-up player there is from Scott Taylor. I did say he's capable of 110 average, albeit being very early in this match, but he has them gears. Is it going to take something like that to beat Andy Boulton?
59.
Because he's been incredible the last dozen games. Never looked like losing, but it's Scott Taylor who takes a 2-0 lead with that obligatory left-arm fist pump. It's getting interesting, this, Henry.
Very, very
much so.
Third leg
is Andy to throw first. Game on.
Andy Boulton, I think he's just gone back and A little bit of a chew on a sweet or something like that. Maybe just something to kind of get him going.
57.
He's done that all week. Not necessarily when he's behind. It's just maybe just a little bit of sugar he requires. He's using all his experience he needs to get the best out of himself.
134.
What a performance this is.
It's an inspired display from Scott against the Scot.
100.
At 9:30 on Monday morning, Chris Murphy asked, who's your winner this week? I said, Andy Boulton. He said, who else stands out for you?
180.
And anyone who knows what my tips are like will realise that's usually the poison chalice. But right now,
100.
this is sensational. Look at them numbers.
Quite frankly put, he's playing pretty much unplayable darts.
100.
When his timing's right, it just makes the game look so easy. How on earth did he have a 66 average against Kevin Dowling? You just think it's two different players that you look at. It's similar to his shirt there.
59.
On the yellow is his A game.
87.
And the black is just that B game that's just non-existent. This is insane.
He's getting better.
That's game shot and the third
That's a
leg.
12.
Scott
That's a double
Taylor.
break. It's 112.72, the average. We said maybe the best might be saved for the final.
Fourth leg
Well,
is
Scott
Scott to throw
Taylor
first.
is saving
Game
his
on.
best for the final. He is not just running his way possibly now to the £5,000 top prize. He's got into a Formula One car and he
96.
is in fifth gear going through the parabolica towards the finishing line.
Para what?
It's a famous corner.
I know.
140.
I'm an egghead. You wouldn't think so at the quiz on Monday night, but there we go. Look at this, Henry.
95.
I don't think many people would have predicted this after three legs, especially the way this man has played this week. That's that semi-final.
131.
Has that semi-final just taken too much out of him? Or should we be looking at how fantastically well Scott Taylor is playing
82.
and continues to play? Let's give the credit to Scott Taylor.
Sometimes you just run into an immovable object, and sometimes you just got to congratulate and shake the opposition's hand.
100.
And it might be a case that Andy Boulton has to do that. But of course, at the Super Series, anything is possible. Don't write Bolton's obituary yet. However, Scott Taylor is making a frantic dash to the finishing line.
180. And you require 130.
This has to go.
It's bull for Boulton.
105.
Scott Taylor,
Scott,
48
you require 48.
for your biggest win of your career.
Double 16.
That's game
And it is
shot.
Super
And your week 4
Scott
winner of the
and
Motor Super Series. Scott Taylor.
Has produced an unbelievable performance to qualify for Champions Week. It is an average of 109 to get the better of Andy Boulton by 4-0 in the final. Boulton, as per usual, averaging above 90 in the final. He averaged just under 93 and was only afforded 3 darts at double. As for Scott Taylor, 3 maximums. Well, that completely outweighed anything in the 140 plus column. He averaged 109.31 in the final. He has saved the best performance of the week for the biggest game of the week, and he is the victor in the final against Andy Boulton by 4-0. Well, let's get the thoughts of our champion, Scott Taylor. He's on stage now, chatting to Chris Murphy.
Thank you very much, Henry. Excellent performance from Scott Taylor. Still getting adulation from the fans in here. Scott, what a performance in that final.
Yeah, blown away really. Blown away. Honestly, I don't know what to say. Bit nervy coming into tonight and then just to play like that in the last game is great.
Were you aware a lot of the talk was about another couple of players, Gary Stone and Andy Boulton, coming into this?
It was a tough week all week, wasn't it? So they were all good players, so I knew I needed to perform and saved the best to last.
Yeah, you really did. 109 average, fabulous performance. What does it mean to you to now not just pick up the £5,000, but make it through to Champions Week, where you can do even more damage?
It's massive. It's just changed everything, because I was a bit struggling really to grip everything, just going wrong, and then come here on Thursday and it's gone well.
Have you seen other players? Have you watched other players who've sort of come to the Super Series, who've gone and got the 2 cards back?
Yeah,
of
course. I went to Q school thinking I was playing well, but I was really poor. So it hurt.
Well, we've got a 3-time world champion there with a massive cheque he's about to present to you. So we'll get Glenn on stage now. Scott Taylor, the champion this week, £5,000.
Congratulations.
Scott, I'm going to let you take that, and I'm going to chat to Glenn to finish off the show. So well done. Congratulations. Glenn, look, you did say at the start of the week, and you reminded everybody several times that you thought it would be Andy Boulton or the man who's lifting the cheque there, Scott Taylor, in the winning at the end of the week. And you were right.
Come on, I don't get many right, but isn't that what the Motor Super Series is all about? Moments like that for Scott Taylor. He's played at a very high level. He's played in a Players' Championship final against Michael van Gerwen. He's not even, once he lost his England cap, he decided, I'm not even going to play Super League. And then the Motor Super Series comes calling, and what a journey it's been this week. And what a performance that was in the final. Sensational.
Yeah, he really did save the best to last. Well, that's it for us this week at the Super Series, but we will return, of course, as always, 9:30 a.m. with a new field of 12 players bidding to emulate what Scott Taylor has done tonight. But this week, well, Taylor takes the title. We'll see you soon.